Welcome back to episode 13 of the Cub build, guys. This week we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to go through rust and paint removal techniques. This is relevant to the Cub. It's something we all go through when we're building a car or a bike or doing anything metalwork. So I'm going to go through a few different methods of doing it, the pros, the cons, and my preferred method. Now, the reason for me doing this video, I put a post up on Instagram, or a reel, I can't remember what it was, of me removing all the paint and rust from the inner tub of the Cub frame. And I had loads of people messaging me, like, how did you do that, man? Blah, 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 blah. And it's actually really easy. Now, look, in an ideal world, we'd all have access to a blaster with organic media that ain't going to warp anything and blast everything off, job done. But the reality of it is, me included, most of us, we have to use other methods for removing paint. Now, there's a few of them you can use. We're going to go through them today. I'm going to give you an example of each. I'm going to show you them, and hopefully this helps someone out. So yeah, let's get on with it. Right, so these are the main ways of removing paint at home. We're going to not bother covering chemical paint removal because it's a nightmare, it's a mess, it's just horrible. Steel wire cup goes on an angle grinder. We've got brass cups and wheels, abrasive pads, flat discs, and a fibre wheel. Right, I'm going to start with an angle grinder and a flat disc. Now, that is not a method I'd recommend. Far too aggressive, will thin the metal out. I mean, look, realistically, if it's your only option, just go slow and steady, and ideally use a worn out disc. So yeah, that's method one. Right, second option is a steel wire cup. Again, not a method I'd use for sort of like thin body work, shapes like this. Firstly, it's steel, so it will gouge and leave marks. The other thing is it heats up and it kind of makes the paint go a bit sort of like tacky, like and ball up. I can't really describe it. Great for box section and thick, heavy material. The other thing, because of the weight of it, you can get smaller ones, but because of the weight of it, it's a bit unwieldy. Like, it drags itself around. So again, not a method I'd use for something like this. Right, our next method is a brass wire cup. Great method, but as you can see, because of the shape of it, it does like to jump around. But again, really good method, recommend. And because it's brass, it won't gouge the metal. It will scratch it, it will leave marks, but where that's softer, obviously, you know, and you will be picking these out of your clothes. So wear eye protection, you don't want to be picking them out of your eyes. Been there, done that. Right, next method is a small wire wheel. Not so great on big areas, but small places, perfect. Far easier to control than a cup. You get into little tight corners. Yeah, so this is one of my preferred methods. Next, we have a big wire wheel. Now, this is my second favourite way of removing paint and rust. absolutely awesome, relatively cheap, controllable. Again, not as controllable as the small wheel. The other thing as well, you've got to be careful of taking to mind. If you've got a hard edge, your certain directional rotation will grab and chuck over. So what you want to be doing, you want to be working against it. You get a bit more control. Clamp the thing down as well, makes it a lot easier. Now this has got to be my absolute favourite method, the fibre wheels. They don't remove any metal, they don't really gouge the metal, and they're just awesome. So yeah, let me show you these. As you can see, very little effort. Look how shiny that is. Yeah, very little effort. Takes the paint off nicely. Does make a bit of a mess, but again, you've not got bits of metal flying around. You're not taking chunks out of anything. This will take rust off, paint off. Like, yeah, and it almost sort of kind of starts to polish the surface. So you will, before painting, have to give that a bit of a key. But yeah, fibre wheels. The one I skipped over was abrasive pads on a DA, on a sander, like whatever you want to use. The reason I skipped over these, takes forever. Again, flat panel work, car panels, doors, great. Come in a million different grits, but yeah, not for something like this. As you can see, look at that, absolutely banging. Like, so yeah, fibre wheel for the win. Absolutely awesome. And what I've noticed as well, buy the cheapest one. There's no difference. Like, and again, the other thing to bear in mind, I should probably thread lock them or run a nylock. But if you run them the wrong way, that will come undone eventually. But other than that, these are awesome. So yeah, that's it for this week, guys. Hopefully that helps someone out. But yeah, preferred method. I could shoot the rest of me stripping the tank, but watching paint dry is pretty fucking boring. And watching someone remove paint is far worse. So yeah, there won't be an episode for a week. Maybe, no, there won't be an episode next week because I'm going on holiday, finally. I'm going to go see some sun with the wife, have a week off work, and yeah, enjoy some good weather. So guys, if this helped you out, let me know in the comments. If you've got any other methods or any advice, again, get in the comments, let us know what you think, and I will see you guys in a week. No, longer. Or is it a week? Who knows? I'll let you know. So yeah, again, thanks for liking, sharing and subscribing. You guys who do that for me every week, you know who you are. I'm eternally grateful. Oh, and on Fridays, there's going to be a new segment. I'm doing a whole RC car and drone thing. Obsessed with that stuff as much as cars and bikes. I do it off camera. I thought, you know, I might as well put it on camera. So yeah, look out for that. And yeah, have a good week.